Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and welcome back to this next video. And this is the part 2 on the transmembrane proteins. Let me recap what we discussed in the part 1 on the transmembrane proteins. I've told you that the hydrophilic ligands is they cannot pass the cell membrane, so in order to communicate their message from the exterior into the interior of the cell, they are going to use these transmembrane proteins. And the transmembrane proteins, they are actually the integral membrane proteins that is crossing the lipid bilayer one or more time, thereby serving as the passageways, the receptors, or the anchors for cellular communication and transport. I gave you the general structure of the transmembrane proteins, and I've told you that there are three important parts. The extracellular domain, which is responsible for binding of the ligand, the transmembrane domain, which is responsible for anchoring the transmembrane proteins to the membrane, and then you have got the intracellular domain, which is responsible for initiating the downstream signaling cascade when the ligand that binds to the extracellular domain of the transmembrane proteins. I've told you that the single pass or the multipass transmembrane proteins, so these terminologies that is dependent on how many times these transmembrane proteins they are traversing the membrane. We started our discussion on the single pass transmembrane proteins, and I gave the example of the receptor tyrosine kinase as one of the example of the single pass transmembrane proteins. And we also discussed about the cytokine receptor as another example of the single pass transmembrane proteins. Now, in this particular video, I want to focus on the multipass transmembrane proteins. And one of the best example to describe the multipass transmembrane proteins, that is the G protein coupled receptor. So if you talk about the extracellular part and the intracellular part of the cell, so if this is the extracellular matrix, this is the interior of the cell. So what these G protein coupled receptors are doing, that they are going to start their structure from the extracellular part. So this NT is the N-terminal domain of this particular receptor of this particular transmembrane proteins. This particular G protein coupled receptor is going to span the membrane 7 times. Therefore, we call them is the multipass transmembrane protein. As you can see in this particular image, it starts its journey from here. This is traversing the membrane first time over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you have got the carboxy terminal on the interior part of the cell. So is this is spanning the membrane 7 times. Therefore, we call them is the multipass transmembrane proteins. And in doing so, it is creating specialized domains, like one is known as the ECL1, the extracellular loop 1, the extracellular loop 2, the extracellular loop 3, and these particular loops are actually responsible for binding of the hydrophilic ligands on the exterior of these G protein coupled receptor. Then you have got the intracellular domain. This ICL is for the intracellular loop. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And this intracellular loop, they are responsible for binding to a specialized protein which is known as the G protein. Therefore, we call these receptors as the G protein coupled receptor. So the G protein is coupled to these receptors. If you talk about the G proteins, so this is actually a heterotrimeric structure. I've got the alpha domain, the beta domain, and the gamma domain, not the domain, the subunits, the alpha subunit, the beta subunit, and the gamma subunit. Therefore, we call them is the G protein coupled receptors. And these G protein coupled receptor, they are the largest family of the transmembrane receptor, and they are characterized by traversing the membrane 7 times. Therefore, sometime you would see that these G protein coupled receptor are also known as the 7 transmembrane proteins. If you look at the important examples of the G protein coupled receptors, one of the important example, they are the beta adrenergic receptors, which are going to respond to the adrenaline. That means that you are going to be that you're talking about the fight or the flight response. And these beta adrenergic receptor, which is an example of the G protein coupled receptor, are very important in the fight or the flight response. So they are going to respond to messenger like the cyclic AMP, thereby helping you in the phenomena of fight and flight response. They're also very important in vision and the rhodopsin receptor, that will be another example of the G protein coupled receptors. Another important example of the multipass transmembrane protein, that would be the ligand-gated ion channels. So do not confuse these ligand-gated ion channel with the voltage-gated ion channel, because they are totally different ion channels. They are ion channels, but their activation is different than the ligand-gated ion channels. So if I give you the example, so this is the receptor, as you can see over here. This is the outside of the cell. This is the inside of the cell. So the messenger, it could be some sort of the neurotransmitter. When it binds with the exterior of the ligand-gated ion channels, that is going to cause the opening of this particular receptor, and this opening is then responsible for the exchange of the ions. So the ligand-gated ion channels, they typically cross the membrane like 3 to 4 times, and the functional channel is a multimer made of cellular subunits. Now, if you talk about these ligand-gated ion channels, they are responsible for controlling the ion flow across the membranes, and this ion flow across the membrane is a very important phenomena when you talk about the neuronal signaling. So, the nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, that would be one of the example of the ligand-gated ion channels. The GABA receptors, the GABA A receptor particularly, that would be another important example of the ligand-gated ion channels. And when they control the flow of ions like the sodium, the potassium, the calcium across the membrane, that is going to be responsible for the fast synaptic signaling in the neurons. So the ligand-gated ion channels and the J protein coupled receptor, they are the important example of the multipass transmembrane proteins.